What happens when massive tariffs and large-scale deportations collide with the U.S. economy? According to 3 economists, the results could be devastating. Former President Donald Trump has proposed a 60% tariff on Chinese goods and a 10 to 20% tariff on all other imports. Economists predict this would create major disruptions. The result: empty warehouses and empty shelves. Prices on both imported and U.S.-made goods would skyrocket. Companies dependent on imports would pass the costs on to consumers. Americans, especially those with tight budgets, could see a yearly hit of $2,600. Tariffs wouldn't just hurt Americans. Countries hit by these tariffs would likely retaliate, affecting U.S. industries like Kentucky Bourbon and Harley-Davidson. Economists agree this policy would be highly destructive. But tariffs are just one part of the picture. Trump has also proposed mass deportations up to 20 million undocumented immigrants. This would devastate industries reliant on immigrant labor, from agriculture to construction. With fewer workers, production would slow, leading to shortages and higher costs. Food prices alone could soar as 30% of the agricultural workforce disappears. Local economies would take a major hit too. Towns and cities with large immigrant populations would suffer as workers and consumers vanish. Imagine a business expanding only to face empty seats and rising debt. The consensus among these economists: a second Trump term could reduce the country's GDP by up to 1.5%. Some even warn that a recession or worse is possible. Whether or not we see a full-blown depression, economists agree, if these policies are enacted, the next 4 years could be rough. New York City Mayor Eric Adams faces charges of bribery and fraud, marking the first time a sitting mayor has been indicted. But he's not alone in political history. Many politicians have found themselves in hot water due to campaign finance violations. U.S. campaign finance laws exist to ensure fairness and transparency in elections. These laws limit how much individuals and groups can donate, control how funds are spent, and require detailed disclosure of expenditures. They're designed to prevent abuse, but as history shows, violations can spiral into far-reaching scandals. Take former U.S. Representative George Santos. In 2024, he pleaded guilty to dozens of campaign finance violations. He redirected campaign money for personal use spending on luxury items, casinos, and even adult content. This is a textbook example of how campaign finance violations can reveal deeper misconduct. One key element of these laws is disclosure. Candidates must report donations over $200 and provide a detailed accounting of where the money goes. But when politicians hide or misreport these funds, it often uncovers even more damning actions. Former U.S. Representative Duncan Hunter's case followed a similar path. A routine investigation into misreporting uncovered that Hunter used campaign funds, reunifications, and even hotel stays during extramarital affairs. It led to a federal investigation and an 11-month prison sentence. Even Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, was implicated in a campaign finance violation when he concealed payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. Again, the violation uncovered much larger issues involving Cohen and Trump. These high-profile scandals erode public trust. In the 1960s, 75% of Americans trusted the government to do the right thing. Today, only 20% do. The mishandling of donations funds that voters intended for political campaigns, not personal luxuries, only deepens this distrust. In 2024, record-breaking amounts of money are flowing into political campaigns. What many donors don't know is that millions of those dollars are being spent on legal fees for candidates embroiled in criminal investigations. This includes figures like Donald Trump and Senator Robert Menendez. But despite these scandals, research suggests they have little impact on voter decisions. Voters today are calcified in their partisan identities, often more motivated by fear of the opposing party than loyalty to their own. As a result, many voters are willing to overlook or rationalize the misconduct of their preferred candidates. With the stakes higher than ever and money pouring into campaigns, more finance scandals are inevitable. Yet, it remains to be seen whether any will have a lasting impact on the political landscape.